football-filled, kind of exciting, not just filler podcast today. We're up here in the DeWitt press box with Coach Rob Zimmerman from DeWitt. And how long have you been coaching?
22 years at DeWitt.
About 22 years. So he's kind of seen everything, and obviously DeWitt is a great program and really built in the community. So maybe just start us right off the bat. How did you get into this? Why do you love football? What have you seen in this community? I mean, whatever you got for us.
Yeah. Well, from a background standpoint, I grew up playing football like pretty much every football coach there is. So it's been in my blood since I was very young. And when I had an opportunity to come back to DeWitt and be the head coach, I was very, very excited because I grew up in this area and I knew what a great program they had. And so I wanted to have an opportunity to try to continue that when the position came open, and kind of the rest has progressed. I mean, been very, very fortunate to have great kids, great coaches, great community, and it's been just a tremendous, period of time. And it's been pretty lengthy now. I've been here for a long time, but it's been a great thing.
I don't mean to make you victory lap in front of everybody, but you guys have won some conference titles. Yeah, you've been to state titles. I actually don't know the back. You're going to have to give us the numbers, though, if you remember that.
Yeah, so we've won 14 consecutive league championships, and I'm not even sure. I think 18 since I've been here. And they had won many league championships prior to me being here also. I'm not even sure on districts, regionals. We've been in the semifinals since I've been here 11 times, and the state finals 4 times. Wow. So we're pretty fortunate. I mean, this is a great place, and it's been a great experience.
Talk to us about the community buy-in, really, because you have to have community buy-in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think to have a good program, obviously you have to have great kids, but you have to have great kids that are willing to work and put the time in to get themselves in a position to be successful. And if you're going to have that, you have to have parent buy-in, and you have to have a great community. And so our best teams traditionally have been the ones that we have the strongest parent groups. As a whole, our parents are very, very good, but some years have been even better than others, and there's a direct correlation between the success of our teams and the involvement of the parents and the support of the parents. So that's a huge plus for us, that we have great parental support, and then obviously you have to have a community that's willing to support your program. And you come out here on Friday nights, and it doesn't get any better in the state of Michigan than our atmosphere here. It's been that way long before I got here, and I think it's just continued to build, and where we're at right now is pretty special. And I think you also have to throw in the other programs. Our cheerleading program is tremendous. And they do. I mean, they're one of the tops in the state. They do a great job in competitive cheer, but also sideline cheer on Friday night. And in our band, Mike Norman is a great director of that program. And, they've had a tremendous amount of success also. And on Friday nights, they help create the atmosphere that we have here. So those 2 programs in particular on Friday nights with us help make it be a great atmosphere.
I do remember playing at Ovid Elsie, and I'm 15 years old. I start, and I kind of learned, I don't say how to be a man, but just how it's not all about me, right? Because if I get out there and I screw up, then I let 10 other people down. And so I view football as very much it's no longer about you, it's about the whole team. And I'm sure you try to instill that into people's minds over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. And, we have very good kids, but a lot of times, athletically, but a lot of times I think our kids outwork other schools and other programs, and that whole team piece is so, so important. And we win some games that maybe we shouldn't win from an athletic standpoint because our kids, they're together and they play as a team, and they've bought into that whole idea. And, obviously from a life standpoint, it's a great thing for them on down the road. And
sure.
If they understand how to work with other people and working together as one, and having that many people, obviously you're going to have some differences, but they always seem to work through it.
Let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room, which is the decision, I believe it was last week, to cancel fall football in the state of Michigan. Obviously, we love football, not just in Michigan, but in America in general. And I know we're struggling with sort of how do we keep kids safe. And so let's just talk about that a little bit. I'm sure that you would say, my kids I think they were practicing already.
Yes.
I keep them safe. I'll do any precautions. I think the kids obviously want to play, but maybe just talk about your mentality behind that.
Well, I think it is obviously a terrible situation for us, and it was a very difficult decision for the people that had to make that choice to end the season. But I really do. I mean, I believe that we can keep the kids safe. I think we've done a good job with it throughout the summer with our workouts, and then once practice started. And so it's tough because I guess from our end we believe that we should be able to play. But we're ultimately not the ones making the decision, and we have to be supportive. And I understand how tough of a decision it is from a health standpoint.
No
It's certainly no easy way to go with that.
Are you going to learn anything about spring football going forward, or
Yes.
know, everyone kind of wants to know, and I know this is a year of uncertainty.
Right. So several big decisions are going to be made in the next couple of days regarding not only spring football, but actually fall. There's potential that we could not have a season, but be able to basically have like a spring practice like college does with X number of days. We're hoping that happens. We don't know if it's going to come true or not, but there's definitely a possibility of that. Getting to have some 7-on-7s, which are a big part of what we do in the summertime. So we're hopeful that happens. As far as spring, there are several scenarios that they're looking at right now. What happens with the other sports that are not able to play right now, or that potentially are not able to, with volleyball, soccer, and swim? If they get to play, that will kind of change things a little bit. But we're anticipating starting early March. A couple of weeks of warm-up, practice, and then starting games, probably a 6 or 7 game season, and then a situation where everybody gets in the playoffs. So it would be a 5 or 6 week playoff.
Okay, so this is like a possibility.
Yes, and I think we will play provided, from a medical standpoint, they allow it. Okay, I think the schedule will be there, and that will be out very soon for us to be able to put it into becoming reality, but obviously things have to get better from a medical standpoint for us to be able to play.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the fun part, which is your DeWitt team for 2020, now 2020, 2021. What offense do you run? And again, my thought when I was at Ovid, we always said, boy, it feels like DeWitt can do anything. They can run on you, they can throw on you, but just tell us a little bit about what you're running this year.
So we're, I guess if we...
Or whatever you'll share, whatever you can share.
If we had to categorize, we would be considered a power spread team. So if you come and watch us play, there are some weeks we're going to sling it and throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. There's other games we're going to run it 5 or 6 times. I guess the best thing to say about this team is, with our leadership and athleticism combined, we have the ability to do an awful lot. So I would think when we do get to play this year that you're going to see more diversity out of our offense than you've ever seen because of what our kids are capable of. So although we're technically a spread team, you're going to see a lot of different things wrinkled in, and several, I guess, aspects of offensive football that you've never seen in DeWitt before. Probably not very much in other parts of the state.
Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't prep for that. Can you tell us about the defense?
Defensively, we are very multiple on defense also. I think our kids have done a great job with man coverage and being able to run with people. We always mix in some zone with that as well. Usually cover 3 up front. We're multiple, so we're going to be in a 4-man front sometime, a 3, a 4, and a 5-man front, depending on what we're going to get.
Okay.
Our defensive coordinator, I need to say something about him, Kyle Haskell, is a tremendous young coach and very, very bright. And so our schemes defensively are outstanding from week to week, and we have a great staff to go with him.
Okay. All right. Have you noticed changes? I know football is different than when I played in 99, 01, right around there. We were kind of given pads and we ran, a basic offense. I think things have really gotten more technical, but maybe you just want to talk about some of the changes you've seen in the last 20 years.
Yeah, no question. I think number one, it starts with what we ask of the kids in the off season. The amount of time that they have to put in with football and many sports, but football, I think in particular, with the weight training, speed development, and then all the skill work, certainly is a much greater commitment than it used to be for kids. The second thing I think is philosophically, with us having more time, coaches are willing to do more or have learned to do more. There's a lot more schematic stuff out there than what there used to be. So you're at the high school level, you're going to see way more different types of stuff than what you did.
You're going to coaching clinics, you're learning something there, you're bringing it back.
Spending time with college coaches and looking at some of the stuff that they do, and even some of the NFL type stuff on a condensed version, right? So that would be the second thing. I think schematically things are definitely much more advanced. And then the third thing would be technology, particularly the last couple of years, last 4 or 5 years with huddle coming into play, whatever, 10 years ago, and now with having the ability to film on the sidelines and watch the game on either TVs or iPads, it's added a whole different dimension to how you coach during the game, because you have the ability to watch basically live film on the sidelines in between series or whatever, and that's certainly
know exactly your weakness.
Right, so you can see after the first series what they're doing defensively. Maybe they're giving us something that we had not expected. Now we can see that and make adjustments right now instead of having to kind of work through it. So I think the ability to adjust is much greater because of the technology, and then certainly preparation too, with all the film and how advanced all the breakdowns and everything are. Football has definitely changed from that standpoint.
Yeah, film back in the day was run it, stop it at some point, show what you did wrong, move to the next play. Now it's spliced perfectly. Here are the 20 running plays that they ran against us.
So we'll have film, and most good programs too will have the same. We'll have film every game of every opponent that we play, and it'll all be broken down. And so from a tendency standpoint, with the way the programs are and how things are out there, it's just a lot different. You know what people are going to do, that's for sure, as long as you're willing to put the time in.
Sure. So that's Coach Zimmerman from DeWitt. I mean, what we try to do with the Not Just Filler podcast, lift up people from the community who do great things, who inspire folks, and obviously the DeWitt program, entire city and the area is bought into football program, and so it's a really tough year. There's a lot of uncertainty. I know Coach will keep fighting for the kids, and we're just really thankful to have him out here. So thanks again for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely, you're very welcome.